Hey, welcome back, knife nerds and everyday care people. It's your boy, the Big Canucker here, and we have got ourselves a little bit of a budget breakdown, courtesy of a really good friend of mine by the name of Jake from Canadian Cutting Edge. He was actually down this weekend. Him and his family having a little bit of camping there with us, with me and Mrs. Canucker, and I gotta say, I had an absolutely fantastic time, and I certainly hope Jake did too as well. Celebrating his birthday. So don't forget to say happy birthday to Jake, as well as don't forget to, if you are looking, for budget knives or budget knife channel, this I don't think there's anyone better than Jake over at Canadian Cutting Edge. So don't forget his link for his channel will be here in the description. And he ended up bringing me a bunch of little toys to have a look at. And we're going to be doing some reviews of these over the next little bit. So we have a little bit of a just a quick look at some of the stuff that we've got coming up. Kind of an unboxing without an unboxing, I suppose. All right, this is one of the ones he gave me. It is they call it kind of a Boy Scout knife. It's by a company called Schnitzel, and it's a Scandi grind. I do believe it is 14C28N. Excellent steel. It comes in a really great Kydex sheath here that kind of locks it in there. It also has a fire steel that comes with it too as well. Schnitzel, what a great little knife, and I can hardly wait to put that to use. I'm actually heading out to BC here to go camping myself. Another camping trip out to British Columbia, a place called North Barrier, BC, which is an absolutely gorgeous country, and I'm going to put that on my hip as well. And so some of the other stuff here, another thing that is an absolutely fantastic budget knife. It is a Ganzo. This is their Firebird design line of knives, and this one here happens to be the FH922 in D2 steel, and I actually have been carrying that since Friday when he showed it to me. I ended up this is what he was just showing me, and I said, hey buddy, I gotta buy that knife off you. I've always wanted one of these Ganzo Firebird knives, and this one has not disappointed. So this is probably gonna be one of the first ones to review. Love this knife here. All right, here's another one we're going to be having a look at by a company called Asabo, or well, I guess if in my crude North American vernacular would be Asabat, but it's Asabo, and it is called the Vendetta, and I just think this is a gorgeous little knife. This is a kind of a traditional French slip joint. And wow, I just love the look of this. And you know what? The workmanship on this has been absolutely gorgeous. Now, one of the things though is there's not even though it is a slip joint, there's no real kind of stop pin. So if I slam this shut, the back hits the very back of the knife, the lock there, and it will roll the edge. So I just noticed that right off the bat. All right, so that is, we'll just throw that up. We'll leave that there for now. It's gorgeous. And here is another one that we're going to be having a look at in the near future. The Petrified Fish Scout. I just think this is another great looking little knife. Get that out of the way there. This here is a front flipper. I think this is also in 14C28N. It's got looks like it's fiberglass reinforced nylon scales on there. I do believe this is running on washers, but we're gonna get to all of these. I'm gonna look all this stuff up after I kind of carry this for a bit, do reviews. So Petrified Fish Scout is gonna be in the works. Excellent little knife itself. All right, now we've got a couple of small ones here from a company called Best Tech, and they just kind of really caught my eye on Jake's channel, and it's the Best Tech Tulip, and it comes in a G10 version, or it also comes in a little titanium version. They're both kind of a front top flippers. This one here has got a liner lock, where this one here is just a plain old slip joint. And it's just that the Kiridashi style knives, I just think they're great. And I just wanted to kind of put one in my hand and give it a go and see how I like it. Do a little review on that. Now we have got another knife here. This is another budget knife, and I do believe this is kind of based on, I think this is the Land 7010, and it's kind of based on, yeah, 7010. This is kind of based on, I'm not gonna say it's a copy or homage to Chris Reeves' Sabenza, but this knife at one point was $10 American. It's now around 17, and I gotta say, what a wickedly little. Um, it rockets out with a thumb stud, and it's running on washers. Stainless steel body on it. Not crazy good steel. I mean, it's budget steel, but still, for less than $10, I think you got yourself a 12C28N steel, which is still great steel. So that one's coming up down the road too as well. We'll do a review of that. Now, the final knife we're going to look at is by a fella by the name of Adam Gibson, who started a company called Canadian Knife Company. And here we go. This here is called the Sleeper, and this is a prototype version. And it is a fantastic knife. Now, sleepers are basically what they are is they're, from what I remember, sleepers are they're cars that are look like regular ordinary cars, but under the hood is it's got the heart of a race car. And I mean, this thing here is, I mean, it's a gorgeous looking knife. First of all, with this micarta. It's got 14C28 steel, which is really, some people, it's a budget steel, but it's a high-end budget steel. It's got a thumb stud as well as a kind of a hole, and it is really, really, really ergonomically designed. It's fantastic. And this thing here with kind of a full flat ground, kind of high saber ground, cuts like an absolute dream. I haven't cut anything too much with it. I know that this here being the pre-production kind of a just a look at for a couple reviewers here, a pass around knife. I'm going to send this back to Jake, and I'm going to actually get myself one of the production versions. I will leave a link to the website, Canadian Knife Company. And you can shop there too as well. They've got a few things. They've got Gunny Glide, Gunny Slide. You can put yourself on a waiting list for this knife, and when they arrive for sale in kind of late August, you'll be the first one to get one. And I know there is going to be a little bit of differences to the full production model. There's going to be some jimping along the top, as well as this is going to be a little bit more milled out to give you a little better action or a little better look at the liner lock, but incredibly smooth, guys. In your hand is excellent. And one thing about this micarta is, as it gets wet, it gets more grippy. So it's an excellent outdoor knife, and it is ergonomically fantastic. So I can hardly wait to carry this for a little bit, and that way we will be able to give Adam and you guys a full, honest, unbiased review of this sleeper. All right, so let's put that aside here. Let's leave that down there for now. Oh, okay, and a couple other things here that Mr. Jake ended up giving me. We've got a drive grip, so it's anti-cam out fluid. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but I know in some of these really small screws, like stuff like this, especially on some of the budget knives, they don't necessarily have the best steel in them sometimes. So you definitely don't want to be stripping out things that are on your knife, especially if you want to take it apart and do any sort of work to it. This anti-cam out kind of gives you grip inside there. It helps your screwdriver from kind of stripping out and coming out of your knife. So I want to give that a little bit of test. I think that's fantastic. And the last thing Jake ended up giving me was this Lansky 4-rod turn box sharpening system. And I've actually used this here this weekend. I sharpened up a couple of knives at my campsite. And fantastic. Great little kit. I'm going to be doing a review of this too as well, but so far I'm quite impressed with it. So that's just my little bit of a budget breakdown here that we got coming up on the channel over the next little bit. Still, we'll be interspersing that with some of our regular stuff that we've normally have on the channel, but just because Mr. Jake was down from Canadian Cutting Edge doing some camping. I just decided that I would dedicate a little bit of time to the goodies that he ended up bringing me down. So thanks so much, Jake. And hey, thanks for you guys out there. If you think I earned it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe. And don't forget to push that little bell notification. You'll be notified every time I put something up. Now, I am away next week for the week out, like I said, camping in BC. I'll try to perhaps upload something live or maybe do a little bit of a live shot while I'm out there. But where we're going has got no electricity, so she's pretty damn remote. And Mr. Anderson, give me 1 second here. Hopefully I get to shoot some video here of this absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous gift that was given to me by Mr. Patrick Anderson out of the States. I finally headed out into the bush, and this is going to be on my pocket too. And I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait to be chopping down a tree with this. I am so excited. This SE6 rig is going to be on my pocket, and I'm hoping to shoot some video of that while I'm gone. But this is definitely going to be happening this weekend, or this coming up week. So please stay safe out there. Keep your stick on the ice, the shiny side up. This is the Big Canucker saying adios.